at you. Bad Monkey Gaming versus Team DsBn here in this best set of 3. Once again, joined by Snooze, my co-caster. A couple of updates for you guys. The Marv versus Nullstone series. Nullstone did end up winning it in the end shortly after we left, so they took the series 2-1. So Nullstone versus Team Grief will be the top portion of the semifinals. And now the bottom portion, we're trying to figure out which two teams are going to be moving on. Right now, it's BMG 1-0 over DsBn, and Reason 1-0 over Solar Club, and actually already well into Game 2 apparently. And again, keeping an eye on that. So we got our Game 2 here, though, as it does look like Reason looking very strong there in that Game 2. Jeez, making a statement. Anyways, back to our Game 2. We got the draft commencing. So once again, starting with the bands, Warbeast, Behemoth, Parasite, Puppet Master coming out here, and now Swiftblade into Midas, Moira into Ophelia. Again, we didn't get to catch the draft last game, but we saw the ultimate result of it. So you keep stressing, though, you really want to see if DsBn does something at least different here from what they are going to do. At least is what, even though it's kind of different in general, but just different for them.
Yeah, it seems like they listened, or at least these two picks kind of indicates that they are going for something a little bit more teamfight oriented. So far I like it. We got the Moira and the Swiftblade. Could be a safe lane Swiftblade, could be a suicide Swiftblade. We just have to wait and see. If you run the suicide Swiftblade, there is the risk that Ophelia might get lucky and get a Skeleton King. So potentially a farming Swiftblade this game.
Yep. I mean, last game obviously the same deal there in the end. It seemed like so. Baltazar getting his hands on that Swiftblade would not be out of the question. Yeah, the Magmus pickup now. I'll see DsBn finishes. Right, clicking that Drunken Master. Like we talk about it, usually not the highest win percentage, but I guess the Swiftblade, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Because
yeah, it's alright versus Swiftblade, but I still feel like there should be a little bit more factors before you decide to pick up the Drunken Monster, because he is very situational. It's like if you're up versus a Pharaoh, a Kraken, something like that, I mean, he makes a lot of sense. Okay, they are going to go with him. Yeah, I mean, it is good versus the Swiftblade, but where are they going to run this? It's a Drunken Monster Suicide. Usually we see most teams nowadays run a Midas in the Suicide lane. It's pretty much Team Solar Club and Sync Esports who loves to run the Midas in the mid. But the remaining teams usually run it in the Suicide lane. So let's see what Team DsBn decides to do. So I guess Drunken Monster mid isn't entirely out of the question. But, no. You know, Drunken Monster at the same time, I mean, you can't really escape from him in the early levels. I mean, with the launch and the stagger, he makes a perfect choice for if you want to go for an offensive man-up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, absolutely.
Maybe Drunken Monster, Ophelia, and an additional support up versus that Swiftblade Moral lane could be an option.
Try to go like an aggressive pseudo-trialing against them. Yeah, that could be of potential here. So again, we'll see how they shape up in the end. Yeah, the idea, I was sort of thinking about it too, you know, wondering if, well, I wonder if we're going to see maybe even more farm focus, more of like the carry. But the more I thought about it, Drunken's also one of those heroes where it almost feels like that would be a waste, because he can already do so much, you know, not getting a whole lot of farm. That putting him in the spot where you're trying to make sure he gets a lot of farm, maybe over the top. So
he's like a war beast. Every single item counts.
Yeah.
Like big time. Matters a lot. But I mean, he doesn't have the farm potential as other hard carries, and therefore we usually don't see him in that kind of role. And we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I would say that he's leaning towards semi-carry here.
Yeah. Bands following: Raviter, Doctor, Gemini, Flux, and Silhouette. A lot of carry potential heroes being banned off early for either side. So again, both sides have kind of what could be a carry hero, but the possibility of actually choosing another carry at least is very likely there for even both sides. So it makes sense that we're seeing.
They need to ban the Cthulhu if they're going for the offensive strategy, though. They cannot allow the leading team to get that. Maybe they're waiting with the last ban until they get rid of the Cthulhu, not to make it too obvious that they actually want to man up.
Yeah.
I would assume that you can't sidestep or stagger away from Mora's stun, can you? Or is that possible if timed correctly?
I don't see why not. The Shards of Harkon? Yeah. I mean, unless I'm missing something obvious. It works kind of like a comma stun, I would think. So, like, if you can disjoint that, then why not?
Yeah, I guess. I was just thinking because it like moves in an odd kind of radius, more or less, or it comes from a different angle. But I guess it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, but yeah, I think the mechanics should work that way of actually being able to disjoint it. So yeah, it's a
As we saw, yeah, versus Noldstone as well, as you mentioned. I mean, the Magnus, or the Suicide Lane, you try to, time that disjoint with the Lava Surge. Didn't be successful in the end with it, but yeah, it can be a bit tricky, but potentially, if time it correct, it can work. All right, so it's a Suicide Swiftblade. Interesting. Is this a Magnus in the mid lane in that case, or is it a support Magnus? I know BMG likes to run both.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't think that's even determined yet by them. Possibly they're gonna wait and see maybe what Team DsBn here does. But you're right. I mean, Ro8 very likely has played plenty of Magnus, so that wouldn't be out of the question. But also we have seen more of a maybe like a Rift Walker kind of style now. This lineup doesn't necessarily scream Rift Walker, so it's even more reason why maybe something like the Magnus. But they've been right-clicking that Torture for a while, so I don't know if that's actually something that they're interested in or just happens to be the case. But
they did run it in the Deadeye Bounty League, that carry Torture. It wasn't successful in the end, but I mean, it still had quite an impact, and it's a strong 1-versus-1 hero. And I would assume that it's going to be up versus a Midas in this game. Or wait,
they
never
already
mind.
have a
What am I talking about?
Yeah, I was
like,
true. I mean, I guess you could do like a Swiftblade support.
No, it's not going to be a Torture then.
Yeah, well, you are right. They did do that recently, so.
But yeah, it was just because of that. I was like, okay, maybe they want to run it in a similar position.
Fusen does play a lot of support Torture too, but it's not going to be the case here. They're going to go Engineer actually with their support. So actually, it is going to be a Magnus, more of a priority farm here.
This Magnus Engineer seems to be making a comeback. We have seen this same hero combination so many times today.
The empath. So, yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Pebbles before that. So, well, okay, you like, but Drunken Master, again, this is what I was saying, though, like, making a farm, like a carry Drunken Master, again, I almost in essence think that's a kind of a waste, right? Like, because he can do so much already with little farm. So, not that he can't do a lot with a lot of farm, to be fair, but I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But
I think it comes down to the mid lane. I think they're going to send Drunken Monster to Suicide and have a Pebbles empath in the mid, as we have seen Sing do. I think it was quite some time ago now, but they usually run it in the early cycles of Hunter Season 3. The empath and Pebbles in the mid, and it was very successful. I remember them running it versus the old BMG at least, and managing to take some very easy victories with it. So maybe that's what they're looking to do here.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you get Essence Link, you're not going to drop from the Magnus Engineer combo. Not in the early levels, at least. Maybe when they hit level 3, it might be a little bit more complicated, but in level 1 and level 2, I feel like you can be pretty comfortable with the empath in the mid lane.
So you mentioned you really like the empath. Is that why? Just because of how it can stand up against a lane, or?
It's part of it, but at the same time, I mean, it cancels the Swiftblade, and it's going to be able to outbox both the Mora and the Engineer at the same time. Or not at the same time, but in a 1-versus-1 situations, he's not gonna, by any means, need to back off. This is a very solid hero together with the offensive man-up that they are looking to do here with Ophelia, and I would prefer not to see Pebbles in the offensive lineup or in the offensive trial here, but it seems like that is actually their case.
So Pebbles, empath, and Ophelia. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely setting up for that. Yep, they're hiding down here. I see they can catch anybody, but from what we can see, probably not going to be the case. Now, Clanks is going to be down here initially. Once they see this trial line, I don't know if the Legion team will try to make any adjustments to it or not, or kind of just feel like they have to deal with it. But okay, now Moira and Magnus, yeah, they're going to make their way. No, Magnus is going to be mid. That's right, with NG. So at least Moira's coming down here. But will they send NG down here, you think?
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
Right from the get-go, I hope. I mean, Magnus should be able to do fine versus the Midas. This is pretty much the same as we have been... Midas kind of fills the same purpose as Flux in a way, because he's a strength hero, he can take a lot. So Engineer doesn't really need to be here, and I would assume that, yeah, Ro8 is going to transition right away.
Yeah, they spotted Pebbles right there, and so picking up on that information. You see Ophelia already in the jungle, and a ward aside plays pretty aggressively from Empath. Will spot Enchi coming over. Enchi's by himself currently. Oh, Rudizy does a good job, though, of realizing pretty quickly that they were trying to cut him off. So, doesn't get caught in a fight, and in the end is going to be fine right here. But trying to eventually make the way down here to the bottom lane. As he's still
He's not going to rush. As long as the lane keeps it steady down here, I mean, the leading team is fine. Or happy. I would really want Empath or Ophelia to even pull the lane. Just go behind the tower and get the creep wave moving.
Yeah. So why?
Because right now, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you were saying so you don't really like this choice by DsBn. Why is that?
I don't feel like they're going to be successful in the long run. I mean, I'm not sure if Ophelia is going to be able to stay here for too long. I just don't feel like, you know, Pebbles can do as much as a Drunken would have been able to do. As soon as Empath leaves, I mean, Pebbles becomes a target. If you would have had a Drunken Master instead, I mean, you would have been able to disjoint a Harkon from Mora and you wouldn't have been able to get killed, but now it's going to be very, very tricky for them. It could still work out, but I mean, Pebbles is going to need level 3 at least before he can use a combo. And they really need to get his lane moving further back so that Ophelia gets an impact.
Yep, that's that is true. I mean, the lane has pretty much been. How do you do that? So if you're a player like trying to learn, like, so whenever that's brought up, like, so how do you get lane control here if you're the help one in the team in this case?
You should right from the start just go behind the tower and pull the wave. Then you just pull it back a little bit. You run around with it for a few seconds in the forest. Magnus is in trouble.
Yeah,
go down.
I was noticing that. Yep, Bloodlust kill. Tilta gets credit on the Ophelia actually. So. Good job, Rune Priority coming out. And it happens.
Yeah, that was a bit sloppy though in general from BMG. I feel like, I mean, Mora and Engineer should be moving over there and help the Magnus. I don't see any reason for why Mora is sitting down here. It's only a Pebbles. I mean, both the Empath and Ophelia was busy with the bot rune. I mean, why are they not trying to harass Pebbles or at least trying to move the Mora around a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, he's at 100% HP. The Pebbles. I mean, they're not even hitting him when he's going for last hits.
That's true, actually. Considering it's 3 range ultimately that are down here. Clanks himself, of course, being a range carry. So, yeah, and Pebbles has been able to stand his ground pretty strong as middle lane Midas should be fine, but a little bit of pressure. So, but yeah, so I mean, getting that lane control though, so pulling it off the bat, but then what? Just hard denying really, and obviously I mean by that just simply denying creeps as soon as you can start denying them, or.
If you pull the creep wave when it comes behind the tower, your creep wave is just going to run straight into the defensive tower. So as long as you keep the enemy creep wave away from your own tower, you can just run in circles or something. As long as you're a tri-lane, it doesn't matter. The leading team is not going to be able to necessarily contest you. So you just run around in a circle for 30 seconds or so until the next creep wave spawns, and then the lane is going to be back at your tower.
Okay. Well, so far, again, really haven't been able to gain control. Clanks is now level 4 and getting some pretty good farm. 19-5, Pebbles 15-3. See right there, trying to stop with a pole camp and cause some issues. Clanks flashbang, but gonna be fine. Bang, I guess. I could have sworn that ability used to be called flashbang. I don't know why. It's just called BAMG now, though. Anyways, goes right there for.
What did you say? BMG?
BANG.
Oh, okay. It sounded like there's, yeah, it said BMG, and I was like, oh, named after the team.
Yeah,
nice.
of course. Of course. They play
That would be a pretty cool addition, actually, for new heroes. Like, the one who wins Hunter Season 4 gets some spells and a new hero named after them.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was back in the beta. MSI Slither is still around, the Alt Avatar.
Oh, yeah. I know. Several teams, obviously, you know, couple, what was it? There's Zai got his, oh god, top lane him, so focused on something else, but Drunken Master gets cut through. Yeah, I actually had that on camera, and I mean, Swiftfoot was spinning to farm the creep wave, but Drunken Master was still kind of hanging around close enough with about half life, and Swiftblade's, you know what, I'm hit level 6, I'm going to go kill you. And pressed R and got the kill, so definitely Pee-wee getting a little too comfortable with the situation. Bottom lane in the meantime, Pebbles, he's dropping really low. One more auto tech should do him, and it does. Flashbang hits Empath, slowing her down quite a bit, and a couple more auto techs to follow. One more, yes, they get it off, and a double tap for the team right there of Bad Monkey Gaming. So good chase, and now this bottom lane is in favor of BMG if it wasn't before at this time.
I'm just not sure what they wanted to accomplish with the tri-lane. I guess keeping the farm away from Clanks, but in that case you need to push with Ophelia. I mean, you kind of need to play her as a babysitter in a way. I mean, just get a creep. She got a... Oh wait, she's running straight into the enemy team.
Yeah.
Okay, that was questionable.
He's in trouble here. Final auto attack comes out, gets the kill. Moira, though, she is going to be in trouble. In response, Clanks is going to assist a little, but not much more he can do. So the 1-for-1 exchange there.
Yeah, back to my point. I mean, she got a Catman champion right from the get-go, so I feel like they should just use that to pull the lane back instead, and just then kept Mora and Engineer and as well as the Clanks just away from experience. But at this point, it didn't really accomplish anything. I mean, Ophelia is at 200 GPM, Pebbles 250, sure, but as long as the Legion team gets experience, they're more than happy. And on top of that, they even got Clanks with 300 plus GPM.
Is this a spot, too, where if your team disbanded... Oh, nice jump into Lenovo! Magnus stuns away at the last second. Beautiful timing right there. Guifix winning for the kill with that Elemental Warp, but better reaction from Boxy coming out as he Lava Surges just in time to avoid the death. So well played. But going back to what I was just about to bring up there, the top lane, you know, Pee-wee up here, sure he died, but he's doing all right. He's level 6. He has Ghost Marchers now. Should they just look to transition this? I mean, cut your losses and... Because they need to get Pebbles farm. I mean, there's just no question. That's just how this heroes work. Because, you know, oftentimes we see it. And right now, that's not necessarily happening the best. So, do you think that they're wasting too much time trying to make this bottom lane happen?
Yeah, at this point, I feel like at least Drunken Monster or Miner should be down here with them in that case. Try to go for a gank or something, make a transition happen. Maybe move the Pebbles towards the mid. Or the top lane. Doesn't matter too much as long as they make something happen, but you can't keep these lanes still at this point. Because it's obviously favoring the Legion team big time. Even if they were to be even in gold and experience, I mean, Legion team got a late game. They got a Magnus, and as soon as he gets... Well, actually, he's going to port back to the mid lane. I would have liked for him to port back to the bot lane as well. I feel like they should just force the Hellborn team out more or less. Legion team can so easily get some kills down here on the Pebbles.
Yeah,
they are going to go for it now as well.
Just went middle, yeah, but here comes the Arcane, or not the Arcane, but the Shards of Harkon sending a couple, the Mana Center on the Pebbles, and Pebbles already about half alive, trying to just stay alive right here. Magnus gets stunned. That could be the saving. No, the flashbang finishes him off in the background. Empath going the other direction, but they wanted to commit to the kill on Pebbles, and they were right to do so. They get him taken out, and they still might get more. Empath. He's not going to be chased down, doesn't have boots or anything like that. Top lane, Swiftblade's going for the kill. No, nice job using the ultimate from Drunken Master. I know they're going to get the kill on Empath, but good thing I went up here. Well played by Pee-wee, but just not enough. The crits are too much. Oh my gosh, from a great play to just RNG in his favor for Swiftblade. That's unfortunate, man. That is unfortunate. He had the untouchable use.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I felt like he deserved that kill.
Yeah, after that play initially. I want to say he even crit twice there, honestly. I think he crit at the final hit, too.
Yeah,
so.
he did.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered in the end. I think it was the first crit that actually turned the fight around, but...
Yeah,
a bit lucky. Oh, Pebbles in the mid. Not sure what he's thinking going in there.
Good, yeah. Now he's going for a kill. Oh, but he misses Stalagmites completely. And now they're collapsing on top of him. The Mana Sunder, the Arcane, the Shards of Harkon, and now here comes combo from NG. Yeah, that just goes back to what is he doing there? What is Thinky Critty trying to accomplish there?
I guess they're feeling a little bit desperate, but they're playing too offensive. They should sit back and try to just play it calm instead. I mean, this game is far from over. I mean, sure, they had a little bit of a setback in the beginning, but I mean, the game is still young, so to say. I mean, just get the Pebbles on farm, try to get that Porky up and running, and then you're back into the game. So, I don't know. I just feel like they should transition way earlier. They're too... Oh, up at the top lane. Okay, nice job by Drunken Monster, actually. Yeah. No, but I feel like they should get the rotation moving. I mean, this is not the team disband that we usually see. I mean, they were using the Veiled Rot like at level 1 during the Qualifier 1, I remember, and so far they haven't used a single one in this game, so...
That's true. Oh, that's a misplay. Pretty sure he didn't technically mean to do that, so... A bit of a misplay there from Balthazar, and he's going to be dead for another 25 seconds, actually, so that will hurt his farm. At least a little bit right here. That's unfortunate, but hey, what's done is done for him. But yeah, you're right, too. Yeah, Veiled Rot definitely seems like it's an item that's almost kind of died down once again since the World Finals, too, in general, for whatever reason. Teams have kind of stopped using it. And that's another just one of the obviously many changes coming up in the patch. Veldroth's taking a little bit of a hit there with the amount of times you can use it, but still expected to be used.
Yeah, I think they want to remove, the 5-man gank attempts.
Yeah, make it more of a.
If you find 1 or 2 key heroes in the late game, it can decide the entire game, and I guess that's not really the kind of effect that you wanted from the item. You more wanted it to use for early game aggressment tool.
Yeah. This Hellborn side, though, I mean, obviously Pebbles still has a long ways to go before that portal key. Just got a really steep with power supply here, so probably next in line, but yeah, long ways to go.
I don't know why he's down here. Yeah, why is he down here again? I mean, on his own. Can't they move around a little bit? I mean, Midas can go to the suicide lane.
Yeah, they're stuck in their ways with it. It's true. This is something else too. Pinky Curdy's playing the Pebbles, and that doesn't feel like, again, this is a guy that we're used to seeing playing the support, if not jungler, but playing the Pebbles here. And what was they trying to prioritize farm on him? So I'm not saying that he can't do it, but maybe that doesn't. I don't know. And he's also the captain. Whether that's just a captain call in general, but. Yeah, it does. When you pick up a Pebbles, that just seems like Pebbles 101. Get him the portal key as soon as possible. Right now, that's not even close to happening because of where he's at in this game. So,
Team DsBn has had a lot of struggles lately. They are tilted, and I guess that might be a result of why they're trying out new players in new roles.
Yeah.
Tilted taking over. Or, I mean, it comes down to personal preference as well for the Ophelia especially. I think that if they were to pick up the Parasite, I mean, it would still be played with Pinky Curdy, but this kind of stuff might hurt you a little bit. I mean, we saw BMG struggling a lot when they picked up Mighty Marcus, and it took them around 2 weeks to get back into shape and, back on track again. So now Team DsBn making a transition like that as well might come to hurt them, and you don't really have the time now with only 2 qualifiers left after this one.
Yeah. Yep, that is for sure. So you see middle lane trying to make a jump happen on Magnus, but again, he reacts easily in time as Midas just out of range of the Lion's Pride right there. Or the Golden Salvo more so, as there's a pickoff. Yeah, Pebbles, again, roaming through the Legion jungle by himself. Now Empath gets there in time, and the wall, but still not going to matter. Clinks flies right over, and also now Empath in trouble. She goes down. Engineer, he's going to take some good damage. He will fall. Double damage on the Midas. That's doing some work. He picks up a double tap. He's going to go for the hat trick. Not getting it, but they get the 3rd kill nonetheless right there in the end. So still, I mean, Pebbles basically playing bait right now, apparently. And, hey, that kind of worked out there in the end.
That went way better than expected for the Hellborn team. I'm pretty sure that they are happy with that trade.
Got that. So, for a second there, I also thought Clank's got the other Parasite, and I had to really double-check that. But no, he's going to Thunderclaw here. That's what he usually does, and again, it makes sense. So, but, yeah, so Team DsBn really at a point, not going to be relying on Pebbles is what it comes down to. Midas got a bit of farm out of that, now 322 gold per minute, so maybe getting him that portal key here shortly. And perhaps getting some kills, because again, Clanks is not your most... obviously not your tankiest carry by any means, and if you are able to catch him, which is difficult because of the Hawk ability, but portal keys help with that. Lock him down and get a kill, so definitely...
it's going to be up on Midas shortly here.
Yeah.
And they have spotted the Thunderclaw and Clanks now, so I would hope for them to place a ward at the Legion's Actions, and just get an easy pick off on Clanks when that happens.
Yeah.
Let's see if they're thinking that far, though. I mean, they have seen a little bit tilted, so maybe they're not thinking that far ahead at this point.
Oh, wow. You know what I was actually just about to ask? What do we think Drunken's going for? But he actually just purchased a Helm of the Black Legion here with his first item choice. Yeah, I don't know about that, especially for a guy that's sitting back and farming a lot of this game. He's 0-2-0, so...
Now they need to make something happen. He's not going to have any farm, or he's not going to have any late game presence.
Yeah.
Or at least not at the point as he could have if he would have gone for a Bulwark first item, for example. They're going to have to make something happen. I guess it's as a result for seeing the Thunderclaw and the Clanks, but I mean, that's usually what the Clanks pick up. Maybe it's just, they feel like, Pebbles is so unfarmed, we need to make something happen straight away, so they're going to go for it.
Guess so. The top lane's being kind of pushed up right here, so again, going back to Pebbles. Now he's farming the bottom lane a little bit. That makes sense, but yeah, getting somebody up to the top lane to pick up that farm as it's now being pushed into the secondary tower here. I mean, sure, Swiftblade and Magnus are in the area, but not going to be defending it here. Ooh, Pebbles trying to dive in for a kill. Not going to happen, though. Instead, I'll have to settle for just pushing the tower. So they're going to do that as a team here. And they'll easily get the tower kill as a result. So, not too shabby here. 1,700 gold now on Pebbles. So he is finally getting there of the portal key pickup, as Midas does have his as well. So it almost feels like, you know, Team DsBn, they shouldn't be in this game like they are right now, but they are. I mean, this really isn't looking that bad all of a sudden.
No, it's far from over. That's why, as well, I get a little bit frustrated seeing a defensive item like that Helm of the Black Legion. Because I think that they have the mentality right now that they are further behind than they actually are. Seeing as, you know, the tri-lane, offensive tri-lane was a failure. But they really aren't. I mean, they've made it back, and if they get the portal key now on Pebbles as well, they can easily get a one-shot off on Clanks. And I don't know. They feel a bit tilted, simply said. But hopefully they can get back on track now. I mean, one more team fight, and they are more than back into this game. I mean, they're even overtaking the goal lead now. Again,
portal key just got by Pebbles, so for a hero that's been really criticizing where he's been farming, how the priority's been going here. Hell, he has it at 16.5 minutes, which really isn't still too bad, especially considering he has 4 deaths on top of that. Swiftblade, by the way, he's waiting for an opportunity to try to make something happen. He has a level 2 Swift Slashes. He has the Invis rune, but he feels like he needs at least somebody else here.
And it seems like he is going to get that support.
They're coming in. Engineer nearby. And he doesn't have a stun, though, so it's not like he can just open up and keep them in place. And, yeah, they are going to fall back. So good heads up by them and enough presence to realize they were in a little bit of danger at least. So the Invis Swiftblade not necessarily coming through. That's another hero, though. Make, a.k.a. Mighty Marcus on the Swiftblade. He's doing pretty well. I mean, he has the Ghost Marchers and the Energizer here so far. I think the Abyssal Skull perhaps going to be coming out. Oh, middle lane. Magnus gets picked off. There's the portal keys coming into play. Both of them, Midas and Pebbles.
That's a big play, or a big kill onto Magnus. We just picked up his portal key as well. This is probably going to free up for a Congo kill or a tier 2 tower. I would have preferred to see them go for the Congo kill, though.
Yeah, well,
it's not going to happen. They're going to choose the tier 2 tower in the mid. Maybe they're going to transition into Congo. Maybe they feel greedy and that they can actually go for both.
You know what? It is Pee-wee, so let's just not question too much, I guess, but he has an Arcana now on top of the Helm of the Black Legion, so I would assume a Hellflower here going to be happening. It just seems like such a funky item, though, like build, considering how he's been the priority farm for the team in this game.
He likes to pick up the portal key as well, so maybe if he picks up the portal, or actually I would have liked to see the portal key before the Hellflower in that case, but I guess he could still pick it up later on, and then he just, you know, be that kind of roaming presence that he's known for being.
Yeah.
Seems like they're gonna find more.
Yeah, they are. The lunge, and that'll stop and get the kills. Pebbles chucks his teammate. Quincy kind of even backing that up a little bit more too. Apparently, we've seen it though 3 times on a Drunken Master. It's 0-3 with it, whereas Demonic Breastplate, 7-7. So yeah, I mean that seems more, especially having a Pebbles on your team. You know, you got some good physical damage, honestly. Here on this Hellborn side in general, and it's not just Drunken Master, so some potentially hard hitters. Maybe they figure Pebbles would get it, I guess, but I don't know. Just it's different, not your usual, and
certainly is, but that's how Team DsBn are playing.
Yeah, and we'll leave it at that, I guess. But hey, again, it comes back to they do have a goal lead right now, and they are going to kill Kongor. It's happening pretty quickly right here. It's not guaranteed, though.
Team. I don't know if they can jump in here without the vision. The ward just got countered. I don't think this is a fight that the Legion team want to take.
Oh boy, it's close though. More, they even get the top tower kill. How about that? That's nice. So even a little bit of another victory there for the Legion side. But so you say they probably shouldn't. Well, they're going to. Eruption being channeled. Here we go from Magnus. He goes in, a beautiful jump. Ophelia locked down a little bit further. Energy foot in the background as well. Untouchable is up on Drunken, but Clanks doesn't care. The right clicks are so much damage. He has a Shrunken head up, and they just all melt. Midas also caught a genocide. Znui, you were saying?
Yeah, that was wonderfully well played by the Legion side. But both Pebbles and Midas actually missed all of their spells. They jumped on nothing. I'm not sure what they were trying to catch, but yeah. well played by BMG, I guess. I guess I was wrong in that decision to actually go for the fight. But
you should have known that was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Missing
not sure either how Magnus got the vision for that eruption. I guess it was
I think more illusion, actually. She used it and it kind of gave them an idea what to expect. But you're right. I think he ultimately went in blind for the most part, but I'm not sure.
Well played by
I do have the replay, actually. Let me check that real quickly. But, yeah, even Pebbles bought back, by the way, and then he ended up dying. Clearly just frustration now, if anything. But, yeah, it's, yeah, more illusion was in there. It died off, though, so it was actually a pretty blind jump from what I can tell. They don't really have any vision in there at that point.
I guess you just have to go with your gut, but
yeah,
yeah, that could have ended in both win and loss, I guess.
Well, it works out big time.
Sure does, and now I'm not sure why, but there are some GGs being called in chat. I guess that's just a bit of a troll. These teams know each other very well.
Yeah, whether it's troll or even, again, I think it's a little bit of frustration too in this Hellborn team. After that, again...
No, but it was the Legion team calling the GG well played.
Well, they voted to concede, to be fair. That's why.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I
they voted to
didn't see
concede
that.
just before that, so...
That makes more sense.
Mighty Marcus, not so BM. Not so BM. By the way, Mighty Marcus has a Elder Parasite and Portal Key, so he's like, we're playing Team DsBn. It's time to go these items here.
Yeah.
It actually helps it keep alive right there in the end, so that's just big enough.
That might be a little bit of a taunt as well, because I know for a fact that these two teams, they were joking around a little bit with it yesterday. They were playing in-house together, and Mighty Marcus was like asking DsBn, like, he was playing the Maraxus, and he was like, what item do you think I should go? Do you think I should go for Spell Thunder on the Maraxus? And then Guefix responded, yeah, I'm 2-0 versus your team with it, so probably a good pickup. So, yeah, so now he's imitating Pewee instead with the Elder Parasite Portal Key build.
I'm telling you though, like you know, whether it's imitating, you know, more so for fun, or I would love to see this become more of the traditional Swiftblade builds, at least in the Suicide Roll, because it honestly makes a lot of sense to me. You're playing Swiftblade as more the initiator, more as the, you know, quick killer. We see so many of these Swiftblades go for the Abyssal Skull, the Firebrand, and you know they're almost playing like a true secondary carry where, like, yeah, that's a good idea too, I guess. But I don't know. I just feel like this has tendencies to just work out better. I guess it ultimately depends on the lineup, though. But I like it, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's situational. It's big time situational. But in these kind of particular games, I mean, it works out very well. However, with the Portal Key, he's not going to be able to have too much success as a Swiftblade in general. Midas can easily jump away from his spin and his ultimate. Fila got a lot of creeps that's in the way for the spin, or I mean for the ultimate bounces. And then we got the Drunken Master, who obviously is a great counter for Swiftblade. So even though he's like looking good at 400 GPM, I don't feel like he's going to have too much of an impact. And that's why might be why he picked up the Portal Key as well. That he feels like even if he gets a lot of physical armor, he's not necessarily going to be able to, you know, get the opportunity to use it, stand still, and hit a target. So he's just like, okay, I'm going to go fully all in place instead with the Portal Key. Yeah, it's probably a pretty solid one.
Yeah, so working out here with the Energizer and the Ghost Marches on top of that. Excuse me there. 6,000 gold lead, 10,000 experience lead here right now for the Legion team. Again, Clanks prioritized that. Shrunken had to follow up the Thunderclaw pretty quickly. But now he has a Firebrand, so more damage output, more farming potential there even. And now pushing the bottom lane with this, with the rest of his team here. So in the meantime, in the middle lane, you can tell Team DsBn interested in instead pushing that in and maybe trying to go all the way to the base, but I don't know if it's going to be a race that they're going to win necessarily. As, yeah, they make their way towards top, but I was going to say, if you're BMG here, I'll just keep this going, honestly. I mean, they got the token on Clanks. I feel like they, I mean, they're already at the base, obviously, so yeah, this is definitely going to force the Hellborn side to fall back here. Magnus is already in a good spot with this set, setting up for an eruption, so this is could possibly be a game-ending fight if executed correctly and if Team DsBn allows for it, but...
Ooh, yeah, it's closing in. This Magnus location is so sneaky and so really... it's going to be devastating if he gets a good eruption off.
It seems like they almost, like, they're playing to the left, as if they almost know. But if they did, you figure they would have sent, like, a courier in here or something to scout it.
Probably.
They're not doing that, though, so... Yeah, they're playing it safe, though.
They do have buybacks on Midas and Drunken Master, possibly the Pebbles. I'm not sure, quite sure how much buyback is costs level 12.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hellborn team is going to retreat, and I think that's the safest decision at this point.
The boring decision, though.
That is true.
How
But
dare they.
hey, what you gonna do? I mean, these teams really want the DreamHack spot, so they're not gonna risk anything.
Yeah. No. Yeah, of course I understand that. So, yeah, definitely the smart decision there. Falling back and get more farm. Clanks his Geometer's Bane probably. We'll see from him coming up. Shield Breaker onto Swiftblade, by the way. So fun seeing that. Got more enhanced damage coming out from him.
That's such a fun item as well.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, he's just gonna be able to jump on top of them with the portal key and use bam bam, hit some out attacks and then get swift flashes off. But in the long run, I don't think it's a very optimal item for a Swiftblade, who's usually not the kind of hero that's known for using too many out attacks.
isn't it applied though from the Swift Slashes?
I guess it is, but I mean, it's still versus Drunken Master, Ophelia creeps, and Midas, and Empath, and all that kind of stuff. So, like I mentioned it a little bit before, that I don't think that a Swift Flash is necessarily going to have the most impact. So I would probably have liked to see a little bit more of a mobility item, like Geometers or something like that.
Okay. Drunken Master, again, definitely a pretty unique build here, and looks like maybe the Shrunken Head going to be coming up next, but... You know, the more I look at it too, this Drunken alone is a hero where Soul's Bulwark is just so powerful on. Pebbles also tends to go too. Neither one has it here so far, and that's just one of those things where you look at and you just don't really know what to think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with teams, why they don't pick up these kind of items. Like, even a Ring of the Teacher, I mean, I don't see Ophelia nor Empath having Ring of the Teacher at this point. And that's just such a big question mark to me. It's 500 gold, and it offers so much for your teammates.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, I don't know if it's just something they just don't, they just forget to think about, I don't know. But it's Drunken Master in the middle lane. He was thinking about maybe trying to set up for a play, but not going to happen. The Veiled Rahi comes out, and Pebbles off to the side, though. Going to try to bait with him right here. I don't think BMG really cares too much, though. They're just going to dive in on it, Drunken Master. See a lot of damage off the bat. He will ultimately survive. But Pebbles in the back got his jump, but he dies shortly after. Magnus being pushed and pulled every which way. He eventually goes down, so 1-for-1 exchange to make that 1-for-2 as Midas also picked up. Drunken goes back in. He was ported back. He almost died before he got ported back, though, so that was even risky in itself. But he actually does stay alive. So, again, hanging in there is Team DsBn. Safe to say.
They are, but they had to use yet another buyback on Pebbles, and they didn't get anything in return. Now he's even further away from the Bulwark, so this is going to be difficult for Team DsBn to get back into this.
Yeah,
I mean, they even had a DD rune on the Drunken Master in that fight as well, but they just weren't able to capitalize it capitalize on it whatsoever. And it just comes down to the leading team. I mean, they just have the superior team fight at this point.
You know, Quincy, that was a really interesting stat that Quincy brought up earlier too. Was speaking of the Soul's Bulwark, he actually made a point about Demonic Breastplate is the most highest win percentage item in the competitive scene, and it was something like 73 or 74% of the games are won when your team has a demonic breastplate. That should tell you something right there, how powerful the item has the tendency to be.
Ophelia got 3.1k gold saved up right now. I feel like she just right-click that bulwark. I don't see any point for why not. I mean, what's she saving up for? A Storm Spirit? I don't think that's going to save or change anything. I mean, it is good versus Swiftblade Ultimate, but I still feel that they already got the means to deal with that.
Yeah. No,
what did she pick up?
It was a Storm Spirit, yeah. You're right. Number one, please, 50 pitch. Well, okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense, but still, the point stands on a very powerful option there to pick up. So middle lane, though, the Veiled Rot from BMG. They're going to find Drunken Master. And he's by himself for the most part, at least initially untouchable. Oh! He went away, but no, the spin's going to finish him off. That portal key, man. The Swift Slashes, that was so unfortunate.
That's the downside with Drunken Monster's ultimate. If you get jumped that quick, or if Swiftblade just jumps in and gets the ultimate off before you can even have a chance of activating it, then yeah, then you're not going to escape it.
Still mitigates damage, but yeah, obviously it unfortunately doesn't do the most in the end as far as nullifying effects.
And with the Shield Breaker, Swiftblade doesn't care if it nullifies some damage. He's still gonna hit like a truck.
And he did right there. So the tower goes down. They're going to, well, they thought about going bottom, but actually now are hanging about. The top of the Congo pit area. Swift played to level 3. Yeah, level 3 Showbreaker now finished in the meantime. Of course, Congo's not up yet. I think they actually even have a little bit. Nope, never mind. I was wrong. There's Congo. And now they're going to go right into the pit. So it's almost as if BMG knew. Had some kind of timer going. So very aware that he was just about to resurrect. They notice, though, that Team DsBn is interested in checking it out, and they're going to make them pay. Swiftblade jumps in immediately. Ophelia Star Spirit trying to for the bait right here. Sheepstick in the background on the Clanks, but the Arcane Vortex, it will stall quite a bit. Who had the Sheepstick, by the way? Freaking Midas with the Sheepstick. Clanks is going to fall in the end, and Swiftblade goes down. That Sheepstick doing work, but Magnus Eruption also doing a lot of work right here. Clanks, by the way, bought back. Will even get here in time as Drunken Master is still alive, barely. But he needs to get out of there before too much happens. Magnus, oh, he missed the stun from Pebbles. The Steam Bath is not enough. The Moira, can Moira finish it maybe? The auto attack goes forward. The stun, yes, it will kill him off, and now they're going to kill Empath as well. What a play right there to finish it off in the end. Oh, man. The chase on a Drunken, and now they're going to kill Kogor. At least that's the idea.
That was a fun-looking fight. No, but once again, I mean, very beautiful initiation by the leading team. But that Sheepstick really turned things around, but it doesn't matter if you get free-man Eruption by Magnus.
Man, Guifix doing work here. That kind of came out of nowhere. And I'm sure even the Legion team was caught off guard like I was, but again, yeah, big picture, as you pointed out, Magnus especially. Boxy answering that. You see the courier coming in right here, but not going to matter as the token's picked up by Clank. So, more damage done.
If they would have had a little bit more patience during the early game and not been feeding those early kills on Pebbles, I really feel like this would have been a completely different game, because both Midas and Drunken Master were just doing so well on their solo lanes. But the one lane that was really supposed to win the offensive tri lane was just the one that failed horribly.
That's true.
So
yeah.
Pebbles, you know, tri-laned, semi-carry, 260 GPM with only a portal key 32 minutes into the game. Yeah, it's rough to be Pebbles this game. Let's leave it at
that. Just slashing that final play once again at the replay there. So, yeah, fun finish indeed, but yeah, well, definitely helping BMG secure that fight in the long run, and obviously get the token on a Clank. So, yeah, buyback on him, but definitely worth it as it secures the Congo kill, and now a token on him. But, yeah, it goes back to Pebbles, too, and no more buybacks on him. It's been that for a while. He's already not farming too well, and yeah, it's showing. He has a mighty blade now, so again, in case it we're not seeing as a demonic breastplate, let alone a soul's bulwark at this point from anyone here on this Hellborn side, and you know, missing out on those team auras is what it constantly comes back to here for them. I mean, the Legion side's not doing much better, to be fair, when it comes to that. In fact, I don't see anything over here for them either. So really, it's both teams, but BMG is the one with the lead here, so.
And they got a token of life on Clanks.
Yeah.
And now they got an engineer with the Storm Spirit, so even if they were to go full in on the Clanks, they're easily going to be able to defend them. Oh, and then DD on top of that.
Ouch. Yep, that's scary.
I think the only way to deal with this is to go all out on the Swift Blade, more or less, but they don't know that engineer got a Storm Spirit.
Oh, they're going to jump Clanks right here. Token, again, is ready to go. That's a port back on a Pebbles. So trying to see if they get the follow-up for it. Magnus in the background. He has his portal key ready to go. Channeling the Eruption. Here we go. A big jump right there, in fact. Get the instant kill on Empath. Ophelia also goes down. And a third one on a Drunken Master who's not buying back either. And that right there. Boxy had several big jumps here in this game. And that was just another one, and could be the closing one as a result of where we're at right now.
Once again, I mean, I feel like the leading team, or the Hellborn team, should have noticed that this time that Magnus once again was missing, and he did the same thing in the last team fight with Eruption hiding in the trees,
yeah.
But they still didn't pick up on it, so.
Just simply
not using the courier to scout, exactly.
Doesn't take a lot of effort, could have easily done it. Just a matter of having the hindsight, or more so the mindset that.
Look at Boxy once again. He's doing a really good job with this. I love it.
Yeah, not here we're used to seeing him play because it's so in the suicide role, but actually going to get caught right here. But the quick Storm Spirit Looking to go back in. Midas still wants to kill him badly, but he's not going to. The team support just too much to handle, and back to the melee racks. They are pretty low on life. Now, Clank still has a token, to be fair, but they're not gonna force themselves using it. They will play the safe option here as they fall back.
Get ready for Irish justice.
Get ready.
Kind of
for
waiting, got
Irish
a full
justice.
work on the Legion side, but still not a single one on the Hellborn.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
It's gonna be on a Swiftblade as well, not a typical demonic breastplate hero.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, this
Not in the
style
suicide
he's
role at
playing.
least, but
Yeah, you're right. The style he's playing, though, more like not even necessarily. I mean, again, secondary carry. That's such an open term. It's like it can be this way of being a great initiator, and he deals great damage. I mean, no, he's not building a Dawnbringer and a Wingbow and things like that, Savage Mace, but he still is.
I feel like a Brutalizer would have been perfect on him, especially together with that shield breaker and the pull kick. Just jump someone and the target's 100% dead.
Yeah, true. But
Look at the wars, by the way. The war from the Legion side. It's all over the enemy or the Hellborn base, and Mara is just gonna jump in and have some fun.
It's like infesting the base right here. That is true. It's a good job by Fusen there. Captain, of course, for Bad Monkey Gaming. You got Magnus moving on up.
Bane, Clanks. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that, but I noticed that Probisk was talking about this, that he never picks up the Geometer's Bane on Clanks because he disjoints your flight, so he doesn't see any reason to do so, but apparently Bulbasaur has a different approach.
Yeah. They're waiting, and they're playing pretty patient here as BMG, but Team DsBn is not going to bite on it too much, as they're sitting pretty far back into their base. But of course, it's a matter of time before they'll have to be forced to defend it as they try right here. Midas jumps in, but the immediate Storm Spirit reaction. Mickey Curdy follows it up, but again, by the time he gets there, not nearly enough damage able to be done. And then he goes down. Eruption being channeled in their face. He knew it couldn't be stopped. Just cleans them up. GG's being called, and this time I think it is official. Yes, it is. GG, well played. Game 2 and the series goes to Bad Monkey Gaming. That's got to be a good feeling, man. This BMG's been struggling here as of late. At least they get a solid victory here over Team DsBn. Still definitely work to be done, but hey, step in the right direction for them.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, 2 weeks ago, they lost 0-2 to Team DsBn, and now 2 weeks later, they win in a very dominating fashion. Not too much of a struggle at all, I feel.
No.
I think it comes down to a little bit of a draft as well. I don't necessarily see Pebbles being played in an offensive tri-lane. It wasn't too successful now, and it has never really been too successful. So maybe a little bit of homework to be made from Team DsBn here. I feel like if they just calm down a little bit and try to play it a little bit safer during the early game, they still have a very nice approach towards the mid and the late game because they got the players. And Pue and Gwefix showed it in this game in particular that, they are confident in the 1v1 skills as well, doing a very good job on their solo lanes. But in general, yes, very well played by BMG, and they're gonna make it through to the next round, playing versus Recent Gaming tomorrow.
Yeah, they going to play Reason. In fact, speaking of that, let me pull up the brackets here real quickly. There we go. As you can see, guys, this is what our semifinals is shaping up to be. Again, we have 2 teams down, 3 more to qualify for DreamHack. It will be one of these 4. Nullstone versus Team Grief up there. Again, Team Grief, you got Chaoli, Super KGE, Haxerin, Macera,